So good morning, and I must thank you, Ranjanji and JSW for being here. Uh, I just want to give you two data points so that you can think about it. This is why I feel proud about this. JSW is our own uh, conglomerate, if I may say, which has come since in last 40, 45 years. It was just started 40 years back, 40, 45 years back, and has built significant presence in different, really the core industries like steel. And they have, the second part I will tell you, we talk about, our Prime Minister talks about what the government will do and what private sector should do. And they talk about the investments and the boldness we talk about. So JSW is committed to invest 60 billion capex in next 7 years. That's such a bold investment, and that tells you about the ambition of the group and how they have built their business in a really remarkably in a short time. So thank you, Ranjanji, for being here, and it's really our honor and pleasure to have you here. So my first question is, JSW has been so strong in the core industry part, strong legacy, if I may call, in steel, energy, infrastructure. What was this core conviction behind entering automotive sector? And how does this move along with your long-term vision of the group?
Right. I think it's a great question. So I'm so glad that you started with a statement that you are so proud of JSW. It's an Indian company which has started very modestly in last 30, 35 years. That shows all of us, think in that line, it's our own company. So thank you for that opening statement. So let's take a step back and understand what JSW has done in last 30 years time and where we are and where you want to go. So JSW's growth story completely aligns with India's growth story. We started in the early 90s, in real terms. So we grew as India grew. We invested what India wanted to invest. We invested in steel, power, cement, all core sectors aligned with our national priorities. So we didn't only invest, we grew our business. We took it to a global platform where we outsmarted, actually, if I can tell that statement, our global peers in steel industry, where we are now number 7. We built the largest steel plants in the world. And the whole steel industry globally takes pride in that. We are operationally one of the best steel companies in the world. So we now lead the global steel industry. We are going to be, so our growth plan, as Mr. Kishore has told, our next 5 years, I think out of 7 years, already 1 year is gone. So our rest of the investment is around 55 to 60 billion. So we'll be number 1 private steel by 2035. So that is what we aim to. And just behind the Chinese state enterprise. So this is how we operate. We just completely shift the frontier of the competition to a global scale. While we invested in our core sector, we didn't fall back. We, through our cements, through our sports, through our digital infrastructure company JSW1, we reached millions of houses, created our own brand. Now everybody knows what JSW is. We created the trust. With these two backgrounds, then the question comes, why auto? So now we are at a juncture where again nation wants a national player to address its core issues. One is the dependency on the oil. We import around 150 to 160 billion of oil, which needs to be addressed. Our cities are quite polluted. That needs to be addressed. India wants to decarbonize itself. So that's one part of the story. And the second part, in last 10 years, we have grown significantly. Our top line has grown by 10 times, by 4 to 5 times. We are now $25 billion top line. Our market cap has, increased by 10 times. So then what next? We wanted a business to scale up our group to a different level, to a world-scale level. So auto sector gives that opportunity primarily for two reasons. One is the shift in the consumer demand. Everybody in the rooms wants a national player, a national, really national car so that they can take pride in. That's a major shift in the consumer demand. And the second thing is the technology. That gives us the tremendous opportunity. So with these two combinations and scale, so we are at 4 million cars, China is at 30 million cars. It's a quite scalable business where not only us, we think that, personally, I think that couple of other groups also will come into this foray to get to that level of scale. I think these are the two primary reasons where we have, entered this business. So our first step was to take a stake in MG Motors. Then we are building our own car company. We are setting up our plant in Maharashtra. So we are doing quite a lot of things which I will delve into. Thank you.
Thank you. So today's theme is built to last and built to change, right? And you have such a legacy of industrial products, strong strength, so much investment. How do you intend to leverage that? And also, I may add, how do you intend to change your mindset to adopt to agile, software-defined, new age industry?
Yeah, quite interesting. So, basically, if you look at, while I was explaining how we grew, we inherited a couple of DNAs actually. We created ourselves. So the core DNA is three pillars. One is we created the hard power. Second is the soft power, and the third thing is the power of collaboration. So how do you do that? So if you look at the hard power, so we have, through our massive scale execution skill, we have created a balance sheet, and we have created a system, and and the second thing is the soft power. If you look at, through our sports, through our foundation, we have created a license to operate, social license to operate, and a strong brand. And third thing is the collaboration, which is most important thing. So we have grown through mergers, acquisition, through our capital spent through brownfield, greenfield, and most importantly through the joint ventures. Through the joint ventures with the Japanese funds called JFE. Now we are doing it with POSCO. So collaborations is in our DNA. So that I want to re-emphasize. And here the same playbook will be recreated in the auto sector. What auto sector needs? Auto sector needs a lot of capital, and your capital prudence is required. So I'll take you the example, JSW Group's, how we are leveraging JSW Group's financial muscle. So I think once we applied for our financial closure, it was done within a 10 to 15 days. So JSW Motors. So that shows the strength of the group. And second thing, our execution capability. That's the one of the major thing. So like we're speaking, so we started this project around 3-4 months. So now the project has started, visibility has come. So now the plant will be ready by next year. So this is what the capability which will leverage while we will grow. So basically I want to re-emphasize our ability to work with the partners, the amount of trust which we create. So these are the two fundamental things while it will help us in building this business. And as you told correctly, JSW is, it looks like a conglomerate, but it's a startup. We are a startup culture actually. Every time our chairman asks that what next, aur kya chal raha hai? That is the whole theme with which we work every time. So we are completely agile company. We know, in our all businesses, we have leapfrogged the technology. leverage the startups. So that's in our DNA. So we'll keep inventing ourselves. Somebody was one of the speakers was telling, we think in the first principle. Everybody in our organization, they think in the first principle. So we're quite agile, and we know the complexities of this business and how smartly we can acquire this technology, and that will define our success. I think I answered
Uh,
you.
So there, so I mean, if you want to answer this, because I can warn you that there are many of your competition also sitting here, and so there are, there are already many Indian companies. There are already foreign companies who are establishing strongly in India. What do you think will be your unique proposition? How do you compete effectively?
So, Kishorji, first of all, as an organization, we have a lot of respect for our competitors. And without competitors, the business is boring. They help you in driving the business in the long run. They set the standards. So we have lot of respect for the incumbents. So as you told, this space is crowded. That means there is an opportunity to think fresh. So opportunities to create something, a unique space actually. So so the question is how, and what will be our unique space. So I think in this space of new energy business, one thing is, three things are important for us. One is the our strategy around the customer. So that is how we call it customer centricity. Number two is the choices will be given to the customer, and third thing is the customer will decide. So basically, it's all about the customers. So basically, customer will decide our business model, how they want to own their assets. That will be decided by the customer. The operating model questions again will be answered by the customers. The customers will design their own vehicles. So we'll be intriguely engaged with the customer to answer these three questions. While doing that, so the basic question is that what JSW brand will stand for. JSW brand will stand for, we call it cradle to cradle. That means from the designing to making the steel to making the car. Again, we'll be there all along the journey of the customer, up to the recycling of your car, of your product. So we are establishing our recycling plant. So basically, we are with you. We are not fly by night operator. We are established group with so much of commitment in India, and we'll be with you all through your life journey. That is the unique space which we think so.
So China has certainly demonstrated scale and speed significantly. So what are your learnings from China and other countries also, and which one you think you will adopt specifically, or what will work uniquely for India? Because you can't just do what they are doing. So what do you think will work uniquely for India? Any learnings?
Right, actually. So basically, in China has shown us the scale, the execution, and the relentless focus on the customers. There are 30 million cars. Out of that, almost 60% is NEVs. Out of that, again, 50% is new trend like PHEV, REVs. So this is a massive thing what they have done in last 10, 15 years due to different reasons. Similarly, if you look at the West, so we understand the importance of safety, design. If you look at our Japanese and Korean friends, so we learn precision, reliability. So with these combinations, if you look at, but India is different. We are different. We have to recognize our driving conditions are different. Our preferences are different. Our requirements are different. We are a value-driven customer. So we have to design our own product by our own self, understanding our own requirement. So this is the core philosophy at JSW Motors. We'll bring best of the technology from everywhere. Technology doesn't have any nationality. Wherever it is there, our main aim is to deliver the best technology to to our customers at the best value. That is our tagline actually. So we have to learn a lot from others, but we have to do our own. So that's the key thing.
Thank you. I do believe India for India is different, and that's why I think everybody is looking at something separate for India. Uh, Now, which is very important for this audience, is what is your roadmap for building technology capabilities in India and innovation, AR&D, what we talked about, research, and what will be that role? How will you help in creating ecosystem? How will you leverage ecosystem in India? Because that is so important now, both for innovation as well as competitiveness.
Right, actually, before I heard your presentation, so I had a different idea of developing our technical skill in a different way. But now it's playing in my mind when our ER&D space is so capable, so vibrant, and they're catering not only to the global markets, to the domestic market. And if you not only R&D, if you look at our supply chain, our suppliers are globally very competitive. I spent lot of time in Germany yesterday. I went through your office also, KPID's office, Magna's office. I see. I'm so excited to see what they're doing there, what they're capable. Now the question is whether we should do the same thing, whether we should repeat the same thing, whether we duplicate the same capability. I think the answer is no. We should be smart enough to avoid the cumulative destruction of the shareholders' value by investing the same capability in the same manner. So we should be cognizant of that. Ultimately, consumers will have to pay for that. Why? Why to burden our consumers? Why to burden? So let's be smart. So for example, in next 2 years trajectory, what we have done, we have called all our suppliers, all our ER&D players, all our service provider into a room. They will be locked up. In a room for next 2 weeks, and to derive who will do what, and whatever you want, you don't or you can't do, we are there. Then we'll invest in that. So that question needs to be addressed. So basically, end of the day, it did the ecosystem. So as an organization, we are not chasing to be number one in the auto industry. We are chasing what matters actually. We want to be the catalyst to increase our ecosystem capability, so that ultimately the national priorities are met. Ultimately, will not take rest till our penetration goes above 50%. So we want to be that enabler, and that enabler will happen when we leverage the capabilities of our ecosystem, particularly ER&D players. So so basically we need to be smart. To work together. That is what my take.
Thank you. Now, some very quick rapid fire questions. We may have an opportunity for a couple of questions. So, what is the single most important factor to accelerate EV adoption in India, you think?
I think it's simple actually. Give the choices to the consumers. So, give them at least 100 models, vis-a-vis 400 to 500 models in China. Our consumers are smart enough to solve their own problem. So that means, what does that mean? More number of players needs to come and design the cars and give appropriate models to our choices to our consumers. That's all, I think.
Okay, thank you. What do you think, what is your take? Indian OEMs will make it global? Do you think India has an opportunity to become number 2 sometime I believe in 10 years or something? What do you think we really have it in us to be there?
I think so, of course. But only disappointment was last 2 days when I was there in the Munich Auto Show. So I didn't see any Indian players there actually. So which I like to see many players. But if you look at the steel business, all Indians. So here is the missing link. Somewhere we have to scale up, we have to execute, and we have to leverage our own ecosystem. So to be in that space actually.
Last question. What is the single most important factor to, no, I think, what is one big bet India should make for the next decade? Where should it invest?
I think your president has answered that. So India Inc. should invest in where energy and intelligence gets fusioned. So we need to do whatever needs to be done, from materials to computing to green to renewables. All those things needs to be done actually. So here is a great opportunity for India's for the Indians to invest.
Thank you very much for your time. And if you have anything else to mention, I think I did.
So one thing I wanted to tell, as a closing remark, so whatever I told, whatever the vision I laid out, so it's not easy, but it's not difficult. So others have done it and we'll do it. And together we can do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.